Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Happy New Year.
2026.
Yes, welcome.
Oh my
26.
gosh.
Welcome, everybody. It looks to be like a great year coming up. Coming up.
Coming up.
Correct. Yes, of course. Why not?
It is in a line.
Especially since we're not gonna take much time and simply jump right to it. We have some exciting topic today, and with New Year starting already, let's talk about resolutions, right?
Resolutions.
And in
the
general,
big topic that everyone is talking about for the start of January 1st, and what we're January 4th right now, so we're 4 days in.
And it will be for a little bit. It's not one day topic. Feels like everybody takes beginning of the year to reflect, to set new goals, and overall new year seem to be the associated with new beginnings, new adventure, whether it is career, whether it is your job, relationship, basically you name it. And seems to be like the opportunities open up at this particular time, and you jump right to it with energy, high energy, excitement, a lot of expectations in a sense too, for something big, something brighter, something that you really desire. And and of course, a lot of us have done that and continue to do it.
Yes.
And as we set those goals, as we set the priorities, those things that we want to change, we start strong. We go in.
We're committed. We're doing the thing. No one's stopping us.
Correct. And then you start strong the first week. You continue with the second one. Everything goes great. You're still excited. You're moving along. And week 3 rolls in, and so is the 4th, and you started to give a little slack yourself.
Just a little bit. Life starts to alter with their schedule, and things start happening.
And you've already put in so much, so you feel like it's time to maybe thank yourself for everything that you've done so far, and also allow yourself a little bit of the
Grace.
yes.
Yeah, little grace.
And as you do that, week 5 and 6 rolls in, and you barely notice when you slide down exactly where you started. And it feels like so many times we've been in those shoes where we start strong, we go in, and then somewhere in the middle you start slowing down, and at some point you slow down completely. So why is it that it changes? You put so much effort, you go with such an excitement, and yet things don't turn out the way you expect them to be, or the way you planned.
Yeah.
Yes, plan it. So while you guys are
Joining us
and
here.
Yes. Tell us, while we are having this discussion, maybe you can give us thumbs up about the fact that, have you been in this position? Or it's just me and Aleece?
Yeah. Maybe it's just us.
You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe just us and another 5 billion people, but it missed you.
Or even if you have your New Year's resolution that you want to share with us, that too. We'd love to see, what you're working on currently, because, right now we're in the strong time.
So my question to you would be, have you been in the position where you've set your New Year resolutions?
100%. Yes. Yeah. I, set those resolutions, right? And I actually haven't been doing resolutions for quite a while now.
Okay.
I have my own version of the start of the new year. But resolutions back in the past, when I did them, it was just so frustrating. And I had so much pressure, like that high anxiety of like needing to do the thing, going to the gym every day, making my bed in the morning and brushing.
The list.
Yeah, the list. The long list that goes on. Food prepping, doing, all the house chores. Like we're gonna just make it just be like magic. It's gonna be so easy. Like something's completely changed, and it goes good for a while, and then February rolls in. Doesn't help that my birthday is the start of February, and then I'm like, ooh, a celebration, yay! And okay,
Okay, and that's and okay, it doesn't come back.
No.
Funny that, of course, for so many of you guys, including Aleece, you've done the New Year's resolution. I got to learn about those once I moved to the US. So in Ukraine, resolutions at the time when I lived, they were not popular, and truthfully, I didn't even know about them.
And with Ukraine, again, because we touched base on this with holiday traditions, your New Year, for the rest of people who are tuning in and missed our last episode, what is that for you?
Well, the New Year is still on the same date, which is the January 31st, or December 31st through the 1st. But then we do have Old New Year, which we'll touch up on that one. But our Christmas is January 7th. So it's hard to start the resolutions at the beginning of the year with all of these holidays still coming up.
Yeah.
But to me, I feel like I was just too young to resolve anything. I was 20. What was there to work on?
Come on! I'm living life!
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
But then once I moved to the US, I learned about the resolutions. And it wasn't just even resolutions. I think just overall goals. I've set goals.
Yeah.
Different types, of course, but some were met, some were not, and a lot of the times it wasn't 100% for sure. Yes, portions here and there, but not significant. And since then, I have, I don't want to say developed, but I have came to the conclusion of finding out the key elements or keys to the successful goal achievements since then. So yes, just like
lot
you.
Of success.
Correct. Link will be in at the bottom of the screen later. So with those, just like you have your own version, I also do my own version of resolution. Even though it's not the same, but a version you can definitely
and I think that's most people, they have their own versions and they call them resolutions, but when you I feel like the world of putting too much pressure on us for the New Year's resolution is what kind of is detrimental to all of us and the aspect of it all. So if you can name it and stand behind it in your version, great.
Yes. So moving on, or not moving on, but before we move on to some more information or talking about those key elements, right? Of what are the keys that why? Oh goodness. Why don't I start over?
Yeah.
Before we move on to talking about what works, what doesn't work for New Year's resolutions, why some people fail, others succeed, and what are those fundamental differences. I would like to take a little bit of time and talk about history of New Year's resolutions, something that you probably didn't know about, and some interesting facts.
And it's great because we learn knowing history. So we have to know what history happens so that we can move forward and change and alter.
So you may or may not have known, and if you didn't, this will be an eye-opening, because originally New Year's resolutions have been recorded back, known resolutions have been recorded back to 4,000 years ago. Quite a bit of time, right?
That is quite a bit of time.
I'm sure just like we have our versions, they had their own versions.
Yes.
During ancient Rome, people had their own gods, right? And with those, there was one called Janus. He was the two-faced god, looking forward and looking back. So many people honored him by reflecting on the year, looking back, and then also giving him things and promises for future, telling that they will do better in the upcoming year. Well, Julius Caesar, right,
Yep.
the emperor of Rome, invented the calendar, which we still use at this time, and they called one of the months, they called January, in honor of the god Janus. So that's where the tying, or that's where the connection happened between the month of January and also the start fresh resolutions and new beginnings. And then of course we go into 19th and 20th centuries, and those things change.
Yes.
Resolutions start to have a different meaning, become more personal, tailored more to personal growth, development, and things like that. And people, of course, focus on resolving their, not issues, but challenges in life, like maybe either returning some debts or saving some money, losing weight, or maybe new relationships, things like that. And interesting thing that even magazines used to publish list of resolutions that you could follow.
I literally found an old magazine and my stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at these resolutions. And that's what it was. Like, it was a thing. It's like every single time, every month, it's like, here's your New Year's resolution list. Like, we didn't already know.
Yes. So, of course, over the time, we can see how certain things have adjusted. And back then, by the way, during the ancient times, people weren't, the resolutions were not guided by guilt or self-criticism.
Yes.
They were thanks, they were promises, those types of things. And they were also commitments to communities and to themselves, to their values, rather than something that is being guided by advertisement, wellness
Well, like
approach.
if there was a farmer back in the day, right? The New Year's resolution was like, I'm going to plant more so I could provide more to the community of, meals. So you're doing more work to then also give more. So
Yeah.
things like that. But obviously back in those days, they're not the same as what they were now. So
Yes, for sure. So with changes, of course, a lot of approaches changed, right? And that's where the successes and failures come.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about failures.
I hate the word, by the way. I mean, we all have to fail, right? Or have a loss, or in a sense of like, so that we can press forward. Like, we need to feel that.
And by the way, in case if you have not seen, look at our schedule that came out just yesterday, because there will be a topic talking about that.
Yes, exactly.
In the next episode, so we'll dive into more.
Yes, but I hate the word failure, right? Any negative words. That's my whole thing, is the negativity based behind it, right? But there is purpose behind it, obviously. But anyways, sorry to cut you off.
No.
But failures and success moving forward into what that looks like for our New Year's resolutions, and how that impacts us too as well.
Do you have anything specific, like
Oh, I remember like body shaming back in like high school. It was like, oh, New Year's resolution, so I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out extra hard so that I could try to get that six pack, that, whatever. And it's like, oh, I failed. Like summer's now, that bikini or bathing suit that I'd rather be looking very great in is my body's just the way it's showing up in the summertime. And that failure of like, oh, the shame, the feeling of even more disgust, because not only am I feeling awful in my body back then, and then also failing at that New Year's resolution, I was like, oh, it just
double layering,
and it was just like, man. And at that point, you're trying to come out of this hole that you've essentially started with hope. Right? It's just like, how did you get to this point? And it's frustrating. And I knew that frustration, and I'm glad to be doing what I'm doing now, because it's less of that failure, shame, guilt feeling.
Right. That's what I also categorized as external factors. So people are often motivated either by others' ideas, desires, or by external factors. And in my opinion, when what you've described also can be coming from certain ideas that we may not quite recognize. So for instance, your body is not looking great, right? You're not feeling good about yourself. You might also think that if you are married, you have a boyfriend, that if you don't lose that extra weight that you've gained, then your boyfriend or husband might leave you, and you don't want that to happen. So those types of thoughts don't happen just like, if I don't lose weight, he'll leave me.
Oh, yeah.
But it happens in a sense that, I noticed that my significant other was looking at some women who might have better body shape than I do, according to the standards, the norms, societal norms. Or it might be an idea like, we haven't been intimate in a while. I wonder why.
Yeah. And then instead of seeing the underlying cause, which is much more deeper than just the external thing that's happening.
Correct. So those ideas are driven, at that point becomes that they're driven by external factor and not what you really want. And at that point, if that's not what you want, your level of interest, of dedication to your goal is very low, and the chances that you're gonna fail is very high. So is it really a failure if you if you did not do what you did not want it to do to begin with?
But also there's the different failure too on that, is where you are a driven person, because there are those people out there that are so driven they will make it happen. Nothing is going to stop them, right? And then that person gets that six-pack, that whatever, and they're thinking, my husband, my boyfriend, my partner, whatever, is going to stay with me because now I have a six-pack. Guess what? I have the six-pack, and then they're gone next month. That, on top of it, that's the failure. So, you can fail in the other ways of, which is even worse.
Correct, yeah. And that, I agree with you, that one is even worse, because
you're like, I made the goal, I did the goal, I did the thing.
I was correct.
I thought I was enough, I did the thing, I look fantastic.
But again, goals set according to other people's desire and not your own. Yep. And then I also put down for reasons for failure is desire for quick results. The current society is so driven by immediate results. It's unbelievable.
Instant gratification.
People don't put enough time into getting the satisfaction from process. They want the results without the process, and you can't. In often occasions you can't get that. The better the results, the greater the goal, the more effort you need to put in. It doesn't happen immediately, and so when you want those quick results, you're gonna burn.
And
that's when people.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's when people fail, is because the expectations are not set properly.
And I've learned this for myself, is that you could have a bazillion ideas, all these goals, they're all right in front of you. You could take a plethora of whatever you wanted. But then if you don't take that time to sit and really evaluate those wants and needs and how you're going to move forward, you might choose the wrong one, which might have taken away from something that could have been very meaningful and perfect for what you needed. And then you'd end up circling back to that, like, farther down the line than if you just took that extra, day, maybe a week to really, I say meditate, really sit in it and really understand what you truly want. And that's what I've been doing a lot, is slowing down.
Well, to add to this one also is the fact that our mind, our consciousness is so strong, and it has so much information. A lot of it, or most of it, we don't even know, because our human body operates on 3 levels, right? Unconsciousness, subconsciousness, and consciousness. Unconsciousness is the way our body works. We don't have to think about how much to breathe, how many breaths we need to take.
We're burning calories, etc., processing, all the stuff.
Healing and things like that. That's all automatic. Subconscious is when your thoughts and your behavior become autopilot. So you don't think about what you need to do. You drive a car and you challenge
point A to B.
Yes, but also do other things while you're driving. So it's automatic type of behavior and also thought process behind it. But then consciousness is something different. It allows you to dig down and figure out eventually, not right away, but those thoughts and those ideas that are stored in subconsciousness, how to tap into it so you could actually get the true answers. An example, for instance, when your parents, you're starting off going or finishing up high school and you go to college, your parents, you want to do something with art related, whether painting or sculpturing or something that takes time. A lot of people know that art may not be profitable. It's a form of love, but will it give you a substantial, or not substantial, but or like regular sustaining lifestyle that you want? May or may not. So many people have failed in providing for themselves with art, and that's what people know. So parents, loving parents, think that it's best to go into law, economics, computers, things like that, that's going to provide for their child and be there for a lifetime, that type of education. Well, college ends and that child realizes that that's not what they want. And not only college, but you went through jobs, you burning out, you are not happy, and you finally realize that your love is not in law degree or anything that you've been doing before. Your love is actually in that something that you truly wanted to do, but you stopped. And what happens then? When you decide that you're gonna change, that very moment, your entire body screams, no!
Yes, it does. It does.
It not only screams, it grabs you. It does everything. Your consciousness sabotages you. Actually, it's not consciousness, it's subconsciousness that sabotages you, because consciously you may want to do those things, but subconsciously there is no record in your brain yet to do what you really love. And more so, if you dig down further, you'll realize that potentially the pattern of not living fully in like full happiness, but have constant something that
was fulfilling, because at that point they went that long without having something that was driving the happiness, so they don't really have that as a key point.
Yes, but the habit is to actually have something that is not giving them happiness. So if you're let's say you're 100%, the happiness is 100%, and you have something that takes 50% of that happiness. So your ability to get to something that's actually going to give you 100% happiness is so much further away from you, because you've lived your entire life knowing
50% off.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the consciousness, subconsciousness, and the way that our body works, is gonna prevent you, do everything possible to stop you from getting the getting to your goal. So without knowing those details, without realizing what is happening, you are failing, not because you're not doing things right, but because there is lack of information.
Yeah, you're fighting against yourself.
Correct. Yeah. And of course, the hold on. Oh, and at that point, yes, making excuses for yourself. You know, like we started from the beginning. You think that, oh, one night off is not a big deal.
I can have that cupcake.
Yes, it's okay.
It's
I've done so good. So all of these things together, and no matter how many of them, but yes, sometimes one good one is enough to throw you back for a loop.
Yep.
I'm also looking at time, and
yeah,
we are getting close to our finish line. So how about tips and suggestions for what works?
I like that. Let's do that. I'm pretty sure all of you that are viewing are wanting some tips and suggestions, because we're the 4th day into the new year and we've got 4 weeks to keep it strong and keep on pushing on.
Until the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
4 weeks times, what, 12?
Yeah,
there we go. So, number 1, I did create a list, so we'll try to go through it quickly, and maybe we'll take a couple minutes just to kind of get through them, or I'll just highlight the
you read them off.
Most important ones. Be kind to yourself, as you don't know what actually motivates you to act the way you do. Not everything is an act. Not everything is an act of free will. Basically, what I've just described. You choosing love for art may not, or the force that is stopping you to get there is not necessarily a free will. There's more to it, and so realizing that is gonna set you free from judgment, criticism, from all of the negative emotions. So give yourself grace, give yourself praise, love yourself for every step that you do. Even if you've done one step a day towards your goal, that's already enough to be happy.
Yes. Be happy about it.
And of course, just like we all know about snowball effect, right? The more you do it, the more likely you're gonna get there to the bottom. And yes, the start might be slow, but who gives a shit? The end is gonna be the end is strong. That's the most important part.
Yes.
Not giving up at the end, going strong to the very end. Be honest with yourself. One thing is, we inherit thoughts, ideas, behavior from our parents, grandparents. Those can be a driven force for why we are actually those are a driven force why we act in certain way. And so through meditation, through ideal law to success, through other options that are available to you, try to actually tap into that subconsciousness and figure out what is it that you want in life. Get to that, to the very core of your ideas, and ask yourself deep questions. Don't be afraid of being honest, because the more you avoid being honest to yourself, the more likely you're gonna end it up on the same circle once again. So
longer road, longer path. You don't want to.
Yeah, it's better to be straight, and yes, the straight road is narrow, and it doesn't take bullshit. So be prepared, but it's your choice. If you want bullshit, then there are many other options, but you're definitely gonna struggle more in the end. Be strict with yourself. Don't let emotions take over. You must be in control of yourself, your thoughts and actions. If you have goals, if you've set your goals, and it's something that you really want, don't allow things sabotage you. Don't allow yourself to sabotage you.
So set those reminders on the calendar. Put those alarms on. Make the lists.
You know what? Honestly, I will tell you what I've done before. I took rubber band and I put it on my wrist. And every time I had a desire to sabotage, I just snapped the hell out of it.
I love that.
It was so painful. I will tell you right now, the tears came up almost every time when I did that. But you know what?
You learned.
You learn, and it shuts down that desire to sabotage. Oh, it's the, you know what? It's that stick that sometimes you have to give yourself.
That, and I was thinking of, because like you can go the painful route.
You also want to have carrot, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I love Mel Robbins, her thought process in the 5-second rule, and the 5-second rule is like where you have there's many layers into it, but if you give yourself 5 seconds and you have to do it within those 5 seconds, right?
Okay.
So you have, like, if you're like, oh, I need to brush my teeth for the day, and you have that thought process, just start doing it. Like, do it rather than like, oh, I have to do this and this and this. Just brush your teeth. Or if you had to make that phone call for that person, if you can't make it in the 5 seconds because of time constraint, whatever, that's fine. Put it off for when you do have the available time of like a half an hour to talk to someone. But if you can make that phone call, make it now, right?
Okay.
So the 5-second rule is amazing, and it has helped a lot of people and myself. But it's one of those things of like rubber band. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Oh no, snap. It's like, no, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if after 5 seconds if you've already said no, you're not gonna make it happen. So I love it, and Mel, she's fantastic. So
Patience. For those who want quick results, you've got to have
patience with yourself and other people.
Correct. Yes. For sure. Focus of attention versus that was my reminder, sorry. Focus of attention. You want to keep your focus where your goals are. Don't set too many of them, because you're going to disperse your attention and eventually you'll lose the entire picture. So smaller, it's better to keep less goals but achieve them than have too many and only be partial in all of them.
Yes, yeah.
And then of course, if your goal is way too big to what you're used to, your belief system needs to be there. You can't doubt. You cannot have ideas of whether it's gonna work or it won't work. Whether somebody is gonna stand in the way or not, or somebody supports me or not. It doesn't matter. What you want, you have to come to a full realization and believe that no matter what happens, you'll get there.
You will.
Yes.
No doubt.
And we know you will. So hopefully with all those tips and ideas, guys, in mind, you will succeed in whatever you've set yourself for this year. Please, if you are able to share your goals, your resolutions, we'd love to hear from you. So please post them. Would love to get them. If not, we totally understand. Some things are private, so we won't break into your
account. And I was gonna say, and our next topic's coming up. So on January 11th, we're gonna have how to have a successful year every year. So it's not just the year, but the years following.
Not only the 4 weeks, not only the 12
weeks. Yes. 4 times 12. It's the after. January 18th is leave your junk in your trunk. Letting go of relationships that hold you back. Whew, that's a rough run. Okay. And then January 25th, which will be a permission to begin.
We hope to see you at our next episodes, and have a wonderful, lovely day.
Cheers.
Cheers.